Athletes, we kind of use ESPN's ESPY Awards as inspiration, and from that, the Golden Spartan Awards were born. Tonight, we're going to honor great performances from our athletes over the course of our 3 athletic seasons, obviously fall, winter, and spring. But we're also going to recognize the contributions and successes of all of our athletic teams to our overall athletic program. It is our hope you're going to enjoy this evening and the celebration of great performances and our teams. I'm going to go through a quick explanation of the awards that are going to be given out tonight. There will be a male and female winner from each sports season in 5 different categories. Showstopper performance is one of the categories. This award will be presented to the male and female athlete that had a simply unforgettable performance. Without the contributions of this athlete, the team would not have enjoyed the success that it did. We're going to be awarding an Iron Spartan Award. This award is presented to the athlete that personifies toughness and grit, not only physically but mentally. This recipient of this award is the blood and guts of their team, and the athlete put team success far above individual accomplishment. Breakthrough Athlete. This award is going to be presented to the athlete that made an immediate performance impact at the varsity level this year. This performance may have been expected or unexpected, but yet had a tremendous impact on the team. Courageous Performance. This award will be presented to the male and female athlete that showed tremendous courage in overcoming obstacles that may have shut down other athletes. The recipient of this award added to the success of their team by placing team success over their own individual challenges. And last but not least, Scholarly Performance. This award will be presented to the male and female athlete that excelled not only on the athletic field, but in the classroom. This athlete is a living example of the term student athlete. And finally, we're going to name our first Mr. and Miss Spartan of our athletic programs. This award will be presented to 1 male and 1 female as the overall most valuable athlete to the Mount Tabor Athletic High School programs. The individual accomplishments of this athlete not only impacted their team, but all of Tabor City. At this time, I'd like to recognize our nominees. On the current slide, you will see the male nominees for the Golden Spartan Awards. Some of these young men were nominated in more than one category and were nominated by their coaches and the athletic administration. Not everyone you see on this list will win an award tonight, but we wish to take a moment and have these athletes stand so we can give them a round of applause. Nominees, please stand. Thank you. On this next slide, we have the female athletes that were nominated for a Golden Spartan Award. Just like the young men, these young ladies were nominated by their coaches and the athletic administration. We also wish to recognize these young ladies by having them stand so we can give them a round of applause. Young ladies, please stand. Thank you. Here's a short summary of the selection process. Coaches were asked to nominate athletes from their varsity teams that they felt were worthy of nomination and that fell into one of the 5 established awards categories. From the nomination, a committee of coaches and athletic administration met to select the winners. The committee felt that in order to recognize as many athletes as possible, we limited athletes to winning 1 category each, and winners and other nominees were then eligible to be recognized as Mr. or Miss Spartan. Overall, we are going to recognize 31 different athletes out of a possible 32 awards, with a majority of our varsity sports having a representative from their team as the winner of one of the Golden Spartan Awards. So that's just a quick explanation of how we came to find these winners. At this point, I would like to turn the program over to Coach Lamar Marshall, who's going to offer you a recap of our fall sports season.
Good evening. Mount Tabor High School is a city that never sleeps. You'd be hard-pressed to find a day or a time when the parking lot is completely empty. In 2 weeks, when civilian students and teachers are packing their bags and headed to the beach, or perhaps overseas, our fall sports teams will occupy every field, gym, hallway, cafeteria, parking lot, and film room in preparation for the upcoming season. Avid Spartan sports fans can casually stop by our campus in June and July and hear the synchronized chants of our cheerleaders and stomps in the hallway. The third of volleyball is being struck with ultimate force. If they step outside, he or she may catch a full soccer scrimmage, a field hockey tournament, get a sneak peek of this year's upcoming football team. Witness great volley exchanges on the tennis court and notice small groups of students running, sprinting, pushing themselves to the limit, circling campus and the surrounding neighborhoods. Off campus, members of our women's golf team will spend the summer sharpening their skills on courses throughout the area and indeed around the country. These dog days of summer each year sow the seeds for greatness come the fall. Fall 2013 was no different. The Mount Tabor Athletic Department has been the model of consistency for area schools for going on 30 years now. As usual, the fall team set the tone for the entire school year. Just a few highlights from this past fall season. Our 8 fall sports teams produced 2 conference champions, volleyball and men's soccer, 4 second-place finishers in the Central Piedmont Conference, football, men and women's cross country, and women's tennis. We were also very competitive on the state level. Women's cross country finished 2nd in the region and number 5 in the state. Boys cross country got the ball rolling early in what became yet another banner year for Spartan runners with the Western Regional title and the state runner-up performance, foreshadowing a dominant performance coming later this spring. Our volleyball team went over previously undefeated and number 1 ranked Huff, was just one of numerous iconic wins this fall by Spartan athletic teams. Others included our women's tennis, finally kicking down the door and defeating nemesis RJR for the first time in 5 years. Football defeating 3 top-ranked teams in the state, including 3-time defending state champion and nationally ranked Butler out of Charlotte. Soccer downing number 6 ranked East Forsyth and ending Reagan's Forsyth Cup run and penalty kicks. And our golf team shooting a score of 140 at Soprano Ridge. All of our teams, including women's field hockey, who persevered through a tough season, consistently competed with great competitive spirit. Our student athletes also racked up numerous individual superlative awards during the fall. We had in total 31 all Central Piedmont Conference selections, including 3 Players of the Year, 12 all-region performers, and 5 Mount Tabor Spartans were honored with the highest honor in the state, being named All-State. Most importantly and most impressively, approximately 3/4, 75% of our student athletes in the fall made the honor roll during the season. Absolutely. Congratulations to all of our fall student athletes, our coaches, our administrators, trainers, team managers, and parents for another outstanding season. Now we'll turn it over to our athletic director, Wayne Miller, who's going to recognize our individual fall Golden Spartan Award winners. Congratulations again.
Presenting our fall Golden Spartan Awards is our athletic director, Mr. Wayne Miller, and one of our assistant coaches, our assistant basketball coach, Luana Reed.
We've been greatly blessed, myself and Ms. Wade, to be asked to present these awards, and we're going to start with a showstopper performance. We'll start with the fall male athlete showstopper performance. This young man who will win this award has had a show-stopping year. He set school records in numerous events, and his times in these events rank him with the best currently in North Carolina and the United States. His times also rank him with the best in North Carolina and the U.S. all time. We are talking a special runner with a special talent. His talents took him to the Foot Locker Nationals in San Diego, the Indoor Nationals in New York City, and the pin relays in Philadelphia. This athlete has had a whirlwind year and will continue his running career next year as a member of the UNC Raleigh, or maybe that's the North Carolina State Wolfpack. The fall male showstopper performance goes to Ian Milder. He's coming. You're welcome.
And now to award our female showstopper performance. Talent combined with hard work is always a recipe for excellence. This athlete is a fine example of both talent and hard work. As a senior leader of her team, she was able to garner individual success even in the light of a tough season for the team. This athlete was named Team MVP, All-Conference, All-State, and was named to the North Carolina All-Star team. She also showed enough talent and potential to be given a full scholarship to Newberry University in the area of field hockey. The fall female showstopper athlete is Deja Graham.
The next award I'm pleased to present will be the Iron Spartan for the fall. This athlete has transformed from an average JV runner as a freshman and sophomore to an emerging runner as a junior to captain and team leader as a senior. This athlete was the heart and soul of the cross country and track teams this year. His unselfish leadership put the cross country and track teams on the podium many times this year. From going back in the state cross country meet to get the number 5 runner out of a rough patch, to an inspirational speech before the state track meet to motivate his fellow athletes to win the states, this Spartan was as mentally tough as they come. The fall male Iron Spartan is Philip Jolly.
I want to thank everybody who's done anything for me. Thank you.
Toughness and guts can come in small packages. You don't necessarily have to be big and bad or tough or gutsy. This athlete is actually petite and quiet, yet packs a mighty roar on the court. When you get named CPC Conference Player of the Year as a defensive specialist in volleyball, you're talking about someone who is as tough as nails. This toughness and determination rubbed off on her teammates, and she, along with the other girls on the team, made up in their minds they were going to go and take a deep run in the state playoffs. Their deep run ended just short of a state championship with a Final Four appearance, but it was the play of this athlete that inspired her teammates. On top of being tough and determined, this athlete is also a well-rounded young lady who excels in both academics and arts. The Fall Female Iron Spartan Award goes to Maggie Weiss.
The male breakthrough athlete for the fall. The winner of this award arrived at Mount Tabor a year ago as a highly touted athlete in 2 sports. He performed admirably as a freshman, but he truly broke out this past year. He was changed from quarterback to wide receiver and made an immediate impact on the varsity football team. He had over 700,000 yards, that's just 700 yards receiving with a 20-yard per catch average and scored 12 touchdowns. He also was a key member of our state championship track team this past year and was an all-state, all-region, and all-conference in track. He not only excelled on the field, but he maintained a workload of honors classes and has a 3.5 GPA. He has gained the attention of numerous D1 colleges and will surely be a player to watch in the future. The Fall Male Breakthrough Athlete Award goes to Divine Diablo.
Good job, Big D. Good job.
700,000.
This athlete was a first-year varsity player who established a middle attack and block for the volleyball team. She committed herself to play the role of the team player in any role needed. Her hard work, passion, and enthusiasm earned a position on the CPC All-Conference team and helped lead the volleyball team to a trip to the Western Regional Finals and the Final Four. The Fall Female Breakthrough Athlete goes to Mackenzie Drake.
The courageous performance. This athlete participates in 3 sports at Mount Tabor. He was a member of the football, basketball, and track teams this past year. Individual performance means nothing to this athlete. He is a 100% true Spartan. Team success means everything to him, and he is often the first person to congratulate someone else for their awesome performance. This athlete was not a starter, but the impact he made as a teammate is one that will not be forgotten by anyone here in Tabor City. No one will ever forget watching his excitement as he ran onto the field in football and played with reckless abandon. And no one will forget his performance on senior night in basketball when he scored 6 points, had 3 blocks, and 4 rebounds in the last few minutes of the game. The personal adversity this athlete overcame to be an inspiration for his teammates is one to be admired. The award for the fall male courageous performance goes to Dylan Fosner.
Just a short time ago, this young lady toiled away in anonymity. She battled through a condition that was both mentally and physically draining for any athlete. She persevered, and by sheer will, she made herself into a force to be reckoned with in both cross country and track. She not only willed herself to run, but she willed herself to be great. She ran her way to a state championship in cross country and was named Gatorade North Carolina Cross Country Runner of the Year. Her story became national news. She took her notoriety in stride and continued to run while battling multiple sclerosis. She personifies a courageous performer. The Fall Female Courageous Performance Award goes to Kayla Montgomery.
Scholarly performance, fall season. A mark of a true student athlete is one who can balance excellence on the athletic field with the high performance in the classroom. The winner of this award is a fine example of this balance. Always a good student, this athlete decided last summer to make himself the best he can be as a runner. He logged 600 miles and showed his coach and teammates that he was dedicated to athletics like he was dedicated to the books. He is a team player who is dedicated and takes great pride in being a strong student and athlete. He will be the captain of the cross-country team this coming fall, and by the way, he is also #1 in the junior class. The award for the fall male scholarly performance goes to Ryan Armstrong.
The young lady who is the recipient of this award can be categorized as a well-rounded individual. She balances being an outstanding student with being an equally talented athlete and musician. As an athlete, she has risen as high as number 2 in the CPC and has competed in the regionals the past 2 seasons. As a musician, she has played first chair at Mount Tabor High School. She is a member of the National Society and is an active member of her church. An athlete who is able to maintain such a busy schedule and excel is most deserving of this award. The Fall Female Scholarly Performance Award recipient is Anna Luke.
This concludes our fall showstopper performances. At this point, I'm going to call up Coach Andy Muse, who's going to do a winter sports recap.
Before I start, I would like to bring Mr. Applegate back up here. Mr. Applegate went above and beyond his duty by tackling this project. So he's got the administration showstopper of the night, a River Birch Lodge showstopper dinner. As I'm sitting right over here, I'm looking at all my colleagues, and I would like right now for all the coaches and administration staff for athletics to stand up. All coaches of all sports. We have a great staff at Mount Tabor High School. You're Mount Tabor coaches. Thank you. I would also like to put a plug in for sports marketing next year and thank Scott Armstrong for a great job for our sports marketing. He does a tremendous job promoting Mount Tabor High School. Now we go to the winter sports, and we're going to start in the swimming pool, drinking a lot of chlorine. Our girls swimmers was in 6th place last year in the conference, and they moved up to 3rd place, so they're making progress. We had 2 girl relays that finished 9th in the regionals of the state of North Carolina. Madeline Jones qualified for the states, and Rachel McCrory also got all conference. In the male department of the swimming pool, Will Rankin, somebody, what was his name? Big Willie Rankin, I think I was supposed to say, broke 2 school records in 200 IM and 500 free. He also made it to the states, and our boys 400 relay barely missed the states. From the swimming pool, we're going to go to probably one of the hardest sports at Mount Tabor High School, and that's wrestling. Wrestling. You can tell I'm from Tobaccoville, can't you? Our wrestlers went 25 and 20 overall, having the 2nd winningest record in school history since 2007. They went 7-2 in the Mount Tabor duels since it started in 2009. And we had a great year despite having a bunch of injuries and some guys that had to go back to the classroom and not wrestle anymore. Academics is important. From the mat, we go to another mat in practice in the cafeteria as well as on the sidelines. And I hate to say that these girls had to listen to some of our varsity boys sing on the way back from bus rides. Our cheerleaders and our dance team gave us tremendous support over the winter. Our cheerleaders competed in the New Bridge Bank competition, came in third out of 12 to 14 teams. The technical difficulty of their stunts improved a great deal this year, and for the third year, they went through a cancer services fundraiser which they've raised $6,000 in 3 years. Julia Pacula was our first all-state cheerleader. From our dance and cheerleaders, we go to the girls' basketball team. My colleague Rick Anderson won his 200th game as a head coach this year. Haley Hatfield scored 1,000 points in her career. We won a tournament in Charleston, South Carolina, an ESPN-sponsored tournament that we were not supposed to win. We won our eighth, 8th Mary Garber Championship, which no other team in Winston-Salem has done. And the best highlight of the year for the girls is the sectional finals when they beat the #1 seed in the state, McDowell High School, to head to the regional. Then we go to the boys' side of the court, where Austin Hatfield scored 2,000 points in his career. Taylor Hatfield scored 1,500 points in his career. After losing 5 starters that went to college a year before, our team went to the Sweet 16 in the North Carolina State playoffs. We were the Frank Spencer runner-ups. We were the CPC tournament runner-ups. And our basketball team won the CPC regular season championship. I don't think I'm supposed to say we're going outside to the track, but I'm now talking about indoor track. Indoor track, our boys were the runners-up in the North Carolina State meet. 25 athletes qualified for the state championships. We had 3 national qualifiers, Kayla Montgomery, Wayne Patterson, and Ian Milner. I'm now going to turn it over to Bill Dinkins and Robin Wesselman.
Presenting our Winter Sports Golden Spartan Awards, Mr. Bill Dinkins, our Assistant Athletic Director, and Ms. Robin Wesselman, our Head Volleyball Coach.
Good evening. For the Winter Male Awards for the Showstopper performance, this athlete came to Mount Tabor for his senior season and put the team on his shoulders. His play helped the Spartan basketball team to another Sweet 16 appearance in the state playoffs. He scored over 2,000 points in his varsity career and set a Mount Tabor record with a 39-point performance against Charlotte Independence. He scored over 32 points twice, once against R.J. Reynolds and once against his old team of Davie High School. He averaged 25 points per game and was named to the Frank Spencer and Union County Hardwood Tournament's All-Tournament team. He made the All-Northwest and All-State teams. Your winter male showstopper performer and your CPC Player of the Year, Austin Hatfield.
Evidently, Mr. Applegate's computer doesn't have a font bigger than 8, so can't see it. It's 11. Oh, it's 11, my bad. For the winter female showstopper performance of the year, in the biggest game of the year, this athlete put her team on her back and led them to victory. In an outstanding performance against number 1 ranked McDowell, this young lady poured in 22 points, many of them from three-pointers from downtown. She not only lit up the scoreboard, but she held the opposing team's best player to single digits. This effort, offensively and defensively, led the basketball team to a trip to regionals in Greensboro. It was this effort, along with her spectacular spirit throughout the season, that earned her showstopper performance. The winter female showstopper performance goes to Ebony Stevens.
For the Iron Spartan. Thank you, Wayne. Another Spartan athlete who came to Tabor for their senior season. This athlete helped solidify a team that lost all 5 starters from the previous season's team. His play as a playmaker helped the Spartans to the CPC title as well as an appearance in the Sweet 16 of the state finals. He averaged 18 points per game, scored over 1,500 points in his varsity career. His 5.6 assists per game, 3.2 steals, and 4.5 rebounds per game tell the story of this unselfish player. He was the heart and soul of the basketball team this past season, and the winner of the Winter Male Iron Spartan is Taylor Hatfield.
When you watch this young lady on the basketball court, the first thing you think of is how tough a player she is. She's always on the ground, going for the loose balls, diving out of bounds to save the ball, taking the charge on defense, and doing anything and everything it takes to win. She was the leading rebounder on the team as a point guard and was also the brains of the teams by calling out defenses and offensive plays. On top of being such a determined athlete, she is also a phenomenal student athlete. This young lady truly personifies the term Iron Spartan. The winner of the Winter Female Iron Spartan Award is Wyatt Wilt.
All right, your breakthrough athlete. This athlete had a solid freshman campaign in swimming. He followed it up with a very spectacular year by setting 2 school records, making all conference, and qualifying in 2 events at states. He could have potentially qualified for more events, but swimmers are capped at 2. The good news for this athlete is that he returns for 2 more seasons, and hopefully the best is yet to come. The winter male breakthrough athlete, Will Rankin.
This is the only award tonight that will be shared, and it's for a good reason. The two young ladies being honored had a nearly equal impact on their sport this year, and it was extremely hard to distinguish which performance was better. Is it better to make all conference as one did, or is it better to qualify for states as the other did? We probably all agree that both of them are great accomplishments and equally great considering both athletes are freshmen. One athlete was the highest point scorer on the team, while the other one is the premier swimmer in the breaststroke on the team. The winners of the Winter Female Breakthrough Athletes are Madeline Jones and Rachel McCrary.
For courageous performance, this athlete has made tremendous strides of improvement each year of high school. Once again, this is an example of an athlete having the courage to work hard when it's easy to just set mediocrity. This athlete worked hard and played multiple sports seasons, including becoming an impact player on the football team last fall. He began to make his mark in track this winter by qualifying for states and nationals and sprints events. He placed 5th in the 55-meter hurdles, 3rd in the 300-meter dash, and was ranked in the top 40 nationwide. He was also a 4-event qualifier for the outdoor state championships and played a key role in our track's state championship. The winter male courageous performance goes to Wayne Patterson.
Sometimes it takes a ton of courage to get up and work or practice when you don't want to. Sometimes it takes a ton of courage to give it all you have every time you step on the court. The athlete that is winning this award tonight personifies hard work. She is relentless in her work ethic. She works out by shooting before school, gets compliments as hardest worker in the gym, male or female, and has the respect of her coaches and teammates. She has high standards for herself and has high aspirations for the next level. The award for female courageous performance goes to Haley Hatfield.
And finally, our winner scholarly performance. The winner of this award is known as a team player who knew his role very well and performed it admirably. As one of the main players off the bench for the basketball team this past winter, this athlete was counted on for smart play and solid defense. He could play 4 positions on the court, and his smart play on the court also translated into smarts in the classroom. As a well-rounded individual who maintained good grades while performing at a high level, he was looked up to by his peers. The winner male scholarly performance goes to Michael Harley.
didn't write this, okay? However, sometimes unintentionally, the forgotten sport, cheerleading, will be represented in tonight's ceremony by a fine young lady. This young lady was a four-year letter winner on the cheerleading squad and was named captain of the squad during her senior year. In her 4 years at Tabor, she established herself as a serious athlete who also excelled in the classroom. She took numerous AP and honors level classes during the years at Tabor and balanced that with being an all-state cheerleader. Heading to Clemson University next fall, the recipient of this year's Winter Female Scholarly Performance goes to Julia Pakulka.
We are now going to transition into spring sports. Mr. Patrick Cromwell is going to step up and do a spring sports recap.
Like Tony Montoya says, say hello to my little friend. So what does it mean to be at Tabor City? It means early mornings, late nights, and high expectations. It means friends, fellowship, fun times, and finding oneself. It means coaching character and doing it all with a little charisma. I could go over the team's records that are printed for you, or I could tell you exactly what it takes to earn one of those. It takes a showstopper performance. It takes a courageous one too. It takes a breakthrough athlete or a couple. It takes a student that is a scholar to remind us to hit the books and stay balanced. And finally, it takes a Philip Jolly and an Iron Spartan to mold us into one. This is for all of Tabor City, and let's hear it for tonight's winners.
I'd like to bring up Mr. Greg Fisher and Ms. Michelle Palmer to do spring sports Golden Spartan Awards.
The winner of this award is a story of perseverance and hard work. This athlete came in his freshman year and was just another member of his team. By his senior year, he was one of the main contributors. This athlete was in competition for the Central Piedmont Conference Player of the Year title for much of the year. He fell a few strokes short and ended up as the #2 golfer in the conference. This performance was the highest conference individual ranking by any Tabor golfer in the past 4 years, and his steady performance greatly contributed to the success of the team. The spring male's showstopper performance recipient is Matt McDonough.
As the old saying goes, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. In the realm of this athlete, the championship did not play out, but it was her defense that gave the team a chance each time they took the field. During the 2013 season, the women's lacrosse team was defeated by Bishop McGuinness by 10 goals. This year, things would be different. As Bishop had a chance to tie with a 2-foot shot with 5 seconds left, this athlete turned them away and allowed the Spartans to avenge a bitter defeat. It was the defensive play of this athlete that allowed the women's lacrosse team to have one of its best seasons in recent memory And she recorded an incredible 67% save percentage to keep the Spartans in the game every time they played. For her efforts, she was named Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and the Spring Female Showstopper Performance Award goes to Mickey Whittington. Nikki could not be here this evening as she is attending a college showcase in Charleston, South Carolina. Accepting on her behalf are her little brother and little sister.
Congratulations. Congratulations. It takes toughness to be thrown into the fire on a veteran team and play a position that instantly requires leadership. This athlete was put into this position, and year by year, he continued to improve and excel. As a 4-year letter winner on the baseball diamond, this athlete was named All-CPC 2 straight years and was the cog that made the Spartan baseball machine run. He provided leadership both by example and vocally. His toughness, both mentally and physically, was a major reason for baseball's success over the past few seasons. The Spring Male Iron Spartan Award goes to Hank Niblock.
I thought you were going to haircut.
Yes.
You need to turn around so she can take your picture.
In most sports, when you think of toughness, grit, and determination, a defensive player comes to mind. In this instance, all of the above are correct. The young lady who is the recipient of this award is a stellar attacking defensive player on the soccer field. She is also a highly skilled athlete who has great anticipation, is able to distribute the ball, and consistently breaks up the opposing team's offensive plans. This athlete scored 5 goals and contributed 2 assists from a primarily defensive position, and it forced the opposition to always account for her on the field because of her versatility and toughness. She scored the game-winning goal in the soccer team's opening round victory in the state playoffs versus Ragsdale, and as a junior is beginning to garner the attention of many colleges as well. The winner of the Spring Iron Spartan Award is Sarah Murphy.
As an athlete that began to emerge from the pack this winter by placing 7th in the mile during the state indoor meet, the improvement continued into spring. During the spring track season, this athlete owns the sophomore record at Mount Tabor High School for the mile and finished 4th overall at the states in the same event. Going into his junior season, he is projected as the #1 junior in the state in the mile. Big things are expected from this runner as we head into next year. The Spring Male Breakthrough Athlete Award winner is Kenny Niesel.
Faster, Niesel, faster! Good shot.
Great job. There you go. Smile for the camera. Oh boy.
This athlete made an impact as a freshman coming in last season, but it was her play this past spring that solidified her standing as a breakthrough athlete and one to watch in the future. This athlete was named All-Conference and put up All-State type numbers in softball. She batted .585 this year and had a .982 fielding percentage. She not only puts up good numbers, but is a good teammate and a team leader. She is only a sophomore, and the future looks bright for this player as she is gaining the attention of many colleges. The spring female breakthrough athlete is Alexa Panzano.
Coming back from a devastating injury is always a question mark. Will the athlete ever get back to their former self? In the case of this athlete, the answer was unclear at first. This athlete suffered through an up and down season, but as the season drew to a close, he saved his best for last and answered the question. This athlete broke the school record with a pole vault of 15 feet and finished second in the state with key points towards the track team's eventual state championship. The Spring Male Courageous Athlete Award goes to Luke Ward.
Thank you. Quick smile for the picture.
Injuries can sometimes be a setback, but many times athletes see it as an opportunity to rise above the injury and perform at a high level once again. The athlete that is the winner of this award was all-conference and all-region and was a co-captain of her team. She did overcome an injury to perform at a high level and helped the soccer team to a winning season and a state playoff berth. She was a true leader of the team as she did a lot of organizational things to help the team, and the team looked to her as a leader. She too excelled in the classroom as well as on the soccer field as she carries a high-class rank in the current senior class. The winner of the Spring Female Courageous Performance is Emma James Barksdale.
Thank you.
When it comes to stats, numbers don't lie. When you are number one, you are number one. The athlete that holds this number one ranking is not on the athletic field, but in the classroom. This athlete is number one in the Mount Tabor senior class. He was also a starter and major contributor to the golf team this past season. This athlete is headed to the University of Virginia to continue his studies. The recipient of the Spring Male Scholarly Performance is Jonathan Cook.
This athlete is another fine example of the balance of academics and athletics. She is a highly ranked student in the senior class and was able to record top 50 times in cross country this fall and was 12th in the state in the 3,200-meter indoor meet. She also participates in band and is headed to prestigious Carnegie Mellon University in the fall, where she plans to continue to run. The Spring Female Scholarly Performance Award goes to Rhiannon Farney.
At this point in the program, we're going to do what I call a recognition segment. The person in charge of the recognition segment is Ms. Christine Doyle, one of our guidance counselors.
At this point, we will be recognizing all of our athletes for their accomplishments this year. I will be calling out a group of athletes and asking them to please stand so we can give them all a round of applause. So would every athlete who participated in a sport this year please stand? Thank you and congratulations on your accomplishments. Would all athletes who made an all-conference team please stand? Would all athletes who were honored by their coaches with an individual team award please stand? Would all the athletes who made an all-region or all-Northwest team this year please stand? Would all athletes who were named to an all-tournament team or asked to play in an all-star game please stand? Would all athletes who are named Conference Player of the Year please stand? Would all athletes who are named to one of the all-state teams please stand? Now this is going to be a little special here. Would all the senior athletes please stand? The administration, staff, and community of Mount Tabor High School would like to especially congratulate our graduating senior Spartans. We wish to thank all of our seniors for their hard work and dedication to the Tabor team, and particularly their work in practice and competition. We also offer our good luck to all of our seniors as they pursue their career goals, and we hope that all of our seniors continue to look back fondly on their years at Mount Tabor High School, and keep in touch with us, please. We'd want to give you all a last round of applause as congratulations to end your senior seasons. But not to be forgotten, would all of the senior parents please stand and remain standing? The administration, staff, and community wishes to thank each of you for choosing to send your children to Mount Tabor High School. We are all very proud of our school, and we wish to thank our senior parents for all their years of support. You will be missed, and we congratulate each of you. Thank you. Would all senior athletes who are heading off to college to continue their athletic careers please stand? In April, our annual college commitment ceremony took place, where we honored 19 seniors who announced their intentions to play at the collegiate level. Tonight, we wish to add to this list, including some late-breaking results. As I call your name, please stand and please hold the applause till the end. Mr. Hank Niblock will be heading to Lewisburg College to play baseball. Thank you. Ebony Stevens will be heading to UNC Pembroke to play basketball. Jordan Richardson will be heading to Catawba College to play basketball. Rosie Stewart will be heading to Salem College to play softball. Chelsea Hinson will be heading to Pfeiffer College to play softball. From early college, Katarina O'Neill will be heading to Mercer University to run track. Austin Hatfield will be attending the Citadel to play basketball. Taylor Hatfield will be heading to Tusculum to play basketball. Krishana Glenn will be heading to Livingstone College to run track. These are the new ones, and they're especially hardworking students that have earned these positions. Raekwon and Traquan Brown will both be heading to tackle collegiate life at North Carolina Central University to play football. Dakota Devine will be heading to Catawba Valley Community College to play baseball. And finally, Deshaun Cloud will be heading to Shaw University for track. I hope I didn't leave anyone out, and if you're still planning on pursuing your dreams, we hope you get there quickly. Thank you very much.
This time, I'd like to call up our principal, Mr. Ed Weiss, who is going to be announcing our Miss Spartan and Mr. Spartan.
Good evening. It is certainly my pleasure to be up here and have the awesome opportunity to speak before you and congratulate all of our winners and recipients, parents. I want to congratulate all of the winners tonight. You certainly represent our athletic department. And I also want to thank all of our athletes who are here this evening. I have the honor to present the first annual Miss Spartan and Mr. Spartan. And we will deviate from the order that, for some reason, we did not do ladies first in our order during the evening. So we're going to start with the Miss Spartan. The Miss Spartan from Mount Tabor, her first ever race, she ran a 24:29, and it was 38th place in Forsyth County. Her last cross-country race, she ran a 17:22 for the 40th fastest time in the United States in 2013. She was a state champion, she was a school record holder, and she's the 5th fastest ever in North Carolina. She was also named the Gatorade Runner of the Year. In her indoor season, her first 3,200 meter was 12:33. Her last 3,200 meter from Mount Tabor was a 10:43. state champion, school record holder, and all classes, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, meet record winner, and number 6 all-time in North Carolina. She is a national qualifier in 2 events indoors, and she placed 10th in the U.S. in the 5,000 meters for a new record of 17:16 this past March. Her outdoor season, her first 3,200 outdoors was 12:38. In March of this year, she broke her own school record yet again, running 10:32. In her final race in a Mount Tabor uniform, she tripped, she fell 100 meters into the race. The crowd gasped. With cameras rolling, ESPN crew there taping her, and this is especially for Coach Cromwell. There were audible cuss words that could not be revealed at this time during that moment. She got up, she caught back up, and then took the lead and would not be denied her 3rd state championship in just 6 months. The elusive Triple Crown, if you would. A feat that has never been achieved before in North Carolina distance running. It is my honor to recognize her as going to college to Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee on an academic and athletic scholarship, the 2013-14 Miss Spartan, Kayla Montgomery. Now, there's something that I want to say. In your spring season, I guess after your fall season, in winning the state championship and reducing me to tears at the finish line in Kernersville, standing next to your mom, your story caught the New York Times, and then it moved to the Today Show, and then ESPN. And what I have here, what Mr. Applegate has here, is a framed front page of your article in the New York Times. This evening I am presenting it to you, and then I'm going to take it right back from you. And we're going to put it up in your high school forever. Congratulations. Thank you, Coach. Mr. Spartan, in his sophomore first ever race, he ran a 19:51 for 67th place in the JV division. These stats are from the official statistician Bureau Agency of Patrick Cromwell. His last race was a 14:49 for 5K, a school record, national qualifier, and fourth fastest 5K time in North Carolina history. In his indoor season, he had a personal best of 4 minutes and 11 seconds for the 1,600 meter indoors. And that ranks number 2 in North Carolina all time, with 2 state championships to his credit. His outdoor season, he ran under 9 minutes for the 3,200 meters 3 times this year, which no other North Carolina athlete has ever done. His personal best of 8:51 is a U.S. ranking that is 6th for this year and number 3 all-time in North Carolina. This time ranks him number 84 all-time in U.S. history. In his final meet, in a Mount Tabor uniform at the state championships at A&T a couple weeks back, he began his day by anchoring our 4x8 relay from behind for a state title, a school record, and the fastest relay split in the U.S. this year. 2 hours later, he set the pace for his teammate before pulling away for the win in a time of 4:15 for the 1,600 meter. 1 hour after that, he raced again for 8 more laps, running 9 minutes and 8 seconds for the 3,200, and his 6th state title of his career. At that point in the day, if you can imagine, as a team is chasing other teams for the state title, our team at that point was still behind in points for a team championship. After stellar legs by his 3 teammates, this young man held off hard-charging sprinters from across North Carolina to take 2nd in the 4x4 relay, another school record, a state MVP, and Mount Tabor's first team state championship since 2009. He has been nominated, just like Kayla has won the Gatorade Athlete of the Year. He has been nominated for it, and we will find those results soon. He will be heading to North Carolina State in the fall. He was a great prom date to my daughter. The winner of the 2013-14 Mr. Spartan, Ian Milder.
My one goal was to have a team state championship. I couldn't have done it without these guys, so if you scored a point at states and outdoors, come up here, please. Go, baby.
Thank you and congratulations, guys.